matters so much. Before we begin, we would like to be clear that we are not supporting nor being controlled by any political party or any special interest group. Okay? So this is just a note that we believe it's important to let that very clear. Dani?
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, guys, nowadays it's really common to hear people saying, I don't like politics, I don't want to get involved. All politicians are criminals, are thieves, things like that. But today we're going to talk more about that and discuss some very important topics. Right, Mirella?
Yes, hello everybody. How are you? And you have probably heard and even said things like that. Whenever a politician appears on television, I just turn it off. Or election time on TV is super boring. Or politics involves corruption and embezzlement. Okay. So Noemi, please.
Well then, if we hear so many bad things about politics, why is it so important? And why is it in our lives? Chris, can you say something about that?
Well, for sure, despite the existence of corruption and manipulation of actions, for political actions and for political people that want the power and that want to stay in power, we have to understand that this negative situation or all this terrible view that we have of politics can only be changed through politics itself, but also through the access to information, free press. You, as a citizen, you have an outstanding role in getting the most of politics and making politics better. Danny?
Yeah, this is because, Chris, I think politics is the instrument of action for the transformation of the society. Okay, Mirella?
Politics is so present in our lives that even when you decide not to participate in politics, you are also acting politically.
Yes, absolutely. It happens because when we do that, we are letting things stay the way we are, they stay the way they are. And we don't see the change. And also, we are letting other people decide our future. And, oh, I'm not going to vote for anybody. Well, other people will vote and they are deciding for you.
Very good, Chris. Um, so far, so good. Let me say something. Pessoal, até aqui, a gente está levando papo, falando sobre por que a gente acha que é tão importante falar sobre política nesse momento. Quando a gente busca a não polarização, mas a consciência política, okay? Politics is part of democracy, and it is everywhere. The United Nations has established the International Day of Democracy, and there is a reason for it. So, Chris, what can you say about that, please?
Sure. Well, in 2015, the Democracy Day started out in 2008. But in 2015, the United Nations presented 17 global goals, also known as Sustainable Development Goals or SDGs. And these goals aim to improve life in the world or the way we live in the world by 2030 in 17 different areas. So we have the areas like to end poverty. Yes, it is necessary to end poverty. This is naturally connected to pollution, to inequality, to gender inequality, which is another thing that is contemplated by the 17 SDGs. Another thing, ensuring clean water and sanitation for all. This also ensures the right to health care, which is also there. If you take a look at the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, they are interconnected and they should be an aim for not just for United Nations, but for everyone. and democracy is there too. So the International Day of Democracy, as I said, it started to be celebrated in 2008. And it's an opportunity to do what? To review the state of democracy in the world. How is it that the democratic countries are now in the world? Most likely, the way that we are now in 2020 is different from the way it was in 2010. And every year, changes are much faster than we ever have imagined. Nowadays, we are in a pandemic and we still celebrate the International Day of Democracy. So with the support of international community, national governing bodies, civil society, and individuals such as you, the ideal of democracy can be a reality to be enjoyed by everyone, everywhere in the world. And what do we celebrate about democracy in 2020 during a pandemic? The access to information, which is vital for us to not just to fight the pandemic, but to be aware of what is going on. Mirella, can you go to the next slide, please? Dani?
Yeah. Democracy is also, guys, in the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. I think Mirella is going to talk more about this next.
Yes, so the 16th goal is all about democracy. So it's about peace, justice, and strong institution. So let's take a look at some of the subjects related. So as we have here on the screen, about the 16th goal, we have promote the rule of law at the national and international levels and ensure equal access to justice for all. Another point is substantially reduce corruption and bribery in all their forms. Develop effective, accountable, and transparent institutions at all levels. Ensure responsive, inclusive, participatory, and representative decision-making at all levels. And broaden and strengthen the participation of developing countries in the institutions of global governance. So when we read strong institutions related to this 16th goal, what does it really mean, Chris?
Well, what it really means is that we need strong institutions, not in the sense that they're here to tell us what to do. No, not in this sense at all. But in the sense that we have access to their information, that they have an effective work, that they are transparent, and that they can be held accountable. That means if they do something wrong, does the system, all the institutions together of a governing body, are they able to actually pinpoint and say, well, you did something wrong, we have to do something about it? This is what the strong institutions is about. It's not about telling me, oh, I am this person, I'm very important, and you have to do what I want. Not exactly. All institutions, all governing institutions, they have to be held accountable. This is a principle of democracy, and it's also a principle of the rule of law. Rule of law is for everyone. Don't believe when people say, for my friends, my generosity, for my enemies, the law. No, the law is for everyone. Okay, let's move on. This is a very passionate how can I say, discussion for me, okay, guys? I'm sorry if sometimes I sound very enthusiastic.
Okay, guys, so we have a question now for you, okay? What makes a country a democracy, okay? So I'm going to put here on the chat so everyone can see. This is a link to a tool that we have here on Google Slides, okay? So you can enter this link, you can enter this website, and then you can answer the question, what makes a country a democracy? So you can put your answers there. Some of them we are going to choose to appear here on the screen. If you want to, if you don't want to put your names, that's okay. You can enter anonymously. Okay, so please write down there. What makes a country a democracy? Let's wait for some people to answer.
Some people are asking if they can answer here, Mirela. Is it better if they answer in the website, right?
This is better, then we can show here on the screen, guys. But it's okay if you don't want to. But then remember, guys, if you are going to answer here on the chat, please choose everyone in meeting. So then everybody can see the answers.
Diane is reporting that the link is not open for her. Maybe you should copy and paste in your browser, Diane. Maybe it might.
We share in the, sorry, may I? Can you, great, Mirela, great idea. Yeah.
Okay, it's a bigger link, but maybe it'll work.
Now it's working, guys. Now it's working. Now we can participate.
Camila says it's not allowing to do the login.
Oh, okay. All right. So you can answer here on the chat. All right, guys? No problems.
Well, some people have already answered. Maybe we can take turns, guys, reading them. Danielle, can you take it on?
I'm sorry, Chris. I can't read those messages.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No
so we have
problem.
sorry, guys. Let's go on. Respect for human rights and representativeness. Okay. Let me just. If you want to answer here, everyone, Mirela, can you check the website there if the answers are going there? And if, guys, just put it on our chat box for everyone.
Okay, I'm going to close the website because it's not working, unfortunately.
Okay. We apologize, guys, but technology is like that. Sometimes everything is peachy, and sometimes it's not that much. But what Thais said is very interesting, right? Respect for human rights and representativeness is something very important. And it's one of the characteristics of what makes a country a democratic one. Okay. Anybody else would like to answer on the chat? Democracy for me is when everyone has the right to point their opinion and be respected by doing that. Absolutely, absolutely. When we give, to our,
I have an answer here. A
Okay.
country that guarantees a democracy is a country that guarantees fundamental rights for its citizens. From Flavia, very good.
Good.
Excellent, excellent comment.
In view of rights of majorities and minorities, respecting minorities, yes. I believe
Country where people can choose. Okay, a country where people can choose. A country where people can vote and choose their representatives. Okay, from Lucas.
Good. Freedom, be respected for who you are. But I think it's also to respect for everyone, empathy. Yes, absolutely. Wonderful answers, everyone.
Very good.
And good English too. I have to say that.
So proud.
For audience, I'm so proud of you guys. This is so great.
Yes.
And then, excellent. Are people still writing? Can you see them writing yet?
I have one more message from Maria. A democratic country is where everyone can be who they are without any limitations.
Okay, there I have a last one here. Make the laws for everyone and not to choose to who apply the law to. Respect everyone, have empathy. And Talita is saying that I can say that the exchange was amazing. Haha. The haha is, not a very nice interpretation. Sorry, guys, I'm not very good at that. It should be a better haha. Okay, Noemi. I guess
great, excellent participation, guys. This is what we want to see. We want you guys to collaborate and participate with us. So now I have a hard question. So what can you and I, what can we do to support democracy and stop people hating each other when they talk about the things they like? Like, for instance, polarization. People, this is so bad. What can we do? How can we practice? What can we do to practice and support democracy? What else can we do, Dani? What have you thought about this?
Well, Noemi, I believe that you have to exercise your right to vote. You have to exercise your right to freedom of information. This is really important. And share your opinion with your elected representatives. Chris, what do you think? What else is important?
Well, a lot of what our audience has put here, thank you participants who have written. Promoting inclusion, respect towards people of different ethnic origins, religions, gender, sexual orientation, and different opinions. It seems that having a divergent opinions, it's almost a crime nowadays. But together we can help promote and improve the conditions for a life of dignity for everyone. And in a life of dignity, your voice has to be heard. Or it doesn't mean that your voice needs to be the winning voice, but at least your voice needs to be heard and it needs to be taken into account. I think this is very important.
Very, very good, Chris. We don't have to win all the time, but we have to negotiate, to participate, to respect each other. And remember what we have talked before. This is something so important. Although we are, living on difficult times when politics and politicians do not have much respect here in Brazil, politics can only be transformed by politics itself. Do you know what I mean? We can only transform it if we work in a way through politics. And that makes our participation more important than ever. So we have to be conscient. We have to be conscious of our acts. Keep fighting on the internet, Instagram, and saying bad things to people doesn't change anything. But by the way, it makes it even more difficult. So, Chris, what can you say about the elections that are coming?
Well, I think it's an exciting time. Oh, you might think, oh my goodness, she's saying that because she's just telling us that. No, I do believe it is an exciting time. It's time to see what your previous city councilor did, what your previous mayor did, and what is it that you want for your city now. A lot of people imagine that governing, elections for governors and president, of course, they are very important as well. But the one election that affects your life the most is the city elections. Do you know that 5,570 Brazilian cities will have elections this year? Yes. And this is a lot of cities. A lot of people will be elected this year, whether you want it or not, whether you have voted for them or not in your own city. Dani, go ahead.
The positions of mayor, vice mayor, and councillors will be disputed. And why do municipal elections matter? Here we have some more. Okay, 60,000 people will be elected. It is in the cities that most of the actions that impact people's lives take place. It is where there is greater proximity between voters and candidates. There are more than 60,000 positions disputed. It's where citizens have the greatest opportunity to be politically active. Voting matters. Who's next?
Yes, it does. Voting does matter a lot. I think it's important, very important for us to have that in mind. So here we are. Okay. Sorry, I just changed my I don't know why something happened in my computer, but don't worry, everything is under control.
Don't worry.
Let's share some questions with the audience here. Okay. So the question is, question number 1. Do you remember whom you voted for as city councilor last election? I want to see it on the chat. This is a yes/no question. Do you remember to whom you voted for city councilor, for vereador in your last
Let's do like this. I'm going to send you, now this is going to work, okay? At least
Great.
I
Yes?
hope.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm going to send another link, okay? Because now we have worked things out. It's from an app called Per Deck. Okay, you can enter there with your Google account, and then you can answer those questions for us, okay? I will wait for everybody to enter a little bit, and then we can answer. But Christina, can you read all the questions for them so they can be ready?
So, do you remember who you voted for? I do. The next one, what do you look for in a candidate for mayor? Okay, what are the characteristics? What is the project you're looking for? In your opinion, what is not acceptable in a candidate? What kind of attitudes? Is there anything in his past, his history, or his future, or one of his promises he's making, something you say, no, this is not acceptable? And do you know what the word vereador means? What does a vereador or city councilor do? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so guys, I see some of you.
Already there? Yes?
Yes, so they are answering. We have 28 people. For people who are entering, you can already answer the first question, which is, do you remember whom you voted for the city council in the last election? So some people are answering here. I'm not going to spoil the answer. Please continue there for you to answer the next question, okay? So everybody's there. I will give you, let me see, 30 seconds for you to.
Mirella is a tough teacher, 30 seconds. I would have given 50 seconds.
Guys, to submit your questions, you don't need to click anything. You just click the answer and it's just this. You click, you will see, depending if you are on your cell phone or on the computer, there is a
Counter.
there's a button written answer here. You just click there, put your answer. You don't need to send, you don't need to submit anything, no problems we have here. Okay, let's see the next question, okay, guys? Next question is, what do you look for in a candidate for mayor? Okay, so you can enter your answers there. Now I see some answers. Some people writing, some people deleting, some people writing, some people deleting. Don't worry, your names will not appear when we show the answers, okay? Don't you worry about a thing. Christina, I only have 30 seconds, 1 minute and 3 minutes. So I cannot put 15 minutes. 15 minutes, so 50 seconds.
All right, I'm not gonna argue with you, teacher.
The only options that they give me is 15 seconds, 1 minute, and 3 minutes. So unfortunately,
all right,
we cannot give 15 seconds.
You have to go through to show the answers, right? Talk a little bit about what some people have put here on the chat. They're asking if the course is for somebody who knows English. Noemi, can you answer that in Portuguese, please?
Okay.
Can you say it again? Can you say the question again, please?
Sure. Is this course for somebody that already knows English?
Gente, este curso é para quem já sabe inglês. Então, a ideia é que a gente possa conversar em inglês sobre alguns assuntos interessantes de política, praticar inglês e fazer com que você, que ficou um tempo parado, aí não praticou muito, relembre e possa voltar a ter gosto de praticar inglês, estudar inglês, ficar com a gente. E uma novidade, vou aproveitar para falar nesse momento. Em breve, nós teremos o Instituto de Línguas online, na Newton Paiva, com o Centro Cultural Brasil-Estados Unidos de Sorocaba. Nós vamos oferecer cursos desde o iniciante do zero, né, até quem já está falando um pouco de inglês e quer praticar. Mas eu ia falar no fim, a agenda é assim, nós somos os centros binacionais e somos parceiros da Embaixada dos Estados Unidos no Brasil. E nós temos uma agenda que é muito parecida com a agenda da ONU. Então, nós fazemos eventos para tratar de muitos assuntos como democracia, violência contra a mulher, atos sobre inclusão e tudo mais. Então, a gente sempre tem atividades em inglês e em português sobre esses assuntos da nossa agenda comunitária. É importante que a gente discuta esses assuntos e a gente gosta de discutir muito também em inglês. Então, você que está ouvindo em inglês, fique sabendo que a gente quer convidar vocês para, em breve, também poder aprender e desenvolver na língua, que é uma delícia, desenvolve o cérebro e a gente aprende tanta coisa além do inglês. Mirella, are we ready?
Okay, we have some people answering this third question. In your opinion, what is not acceptable in a candidate? We have some answers. Let's go to the last question, which is, do you know what the word vereador means and what does a vereador or city councilor do? And then we are going to see some answers. Let me put 30 seconds.
There she goes.
Meanwhile, Dani, can you sing a song?
Well, it would have to be something for the moment. No, I cannot. I think there's no song that fits this moment.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, Dani is a singer and a journalist.
No, guys, come on. No.
Okay, so guys, let's see the answers, all right? Let's go back to the first question that we asked. Do you remember, I'm sorry. I want to come back here to the Zoom, okay? Because we are not going to use Peer Deck anymore. You can come back here so we can see your answers, okay? We're going to show, can come back here to the Zoom meeting. So the first one is, do you remember whom you voted for city council in the last election? So let's see. 19 people said they remembered. 6 people, no, I don't remember. And 10 people, I didn't vote. It's okay, no problem. Maybe you weren't old.
Chose for them, yes.
Yes. Okay, the next question is, what do you look for in a candidate for mayor? So let's share here some answers. The will to really do best for the city, like keep the city clean, keep the city for the people and not only for the cars. We have honesty, someone responsible and that shows true concern about the city and the people and shows work. Respect to the human rights, look for their new projects, and all in a population, all people must be involved. Very good. Someone who works for the city, courage and responsibility, his history and the way he uses to act, he used it to act before the campaign has started. That is very interesting. And then we have a lot of other questions. So be honest, honesty, honest. And then, of course, because we didn't have time to finish, some people who will make a difference, probably. Okay, let's see the next question.
While you are setting the next answers, Mirella, let me comment on the answers. They're really good. Thank you guys for cooperating with great ideas.
Very good. Next question was, in your opinion, what is not acceptable in a candidate? So let's show some answer. Hate speeches, support torture or violence, stealing is completely unacceptable. Also being lazy, not perform duties, very good. Corruption, a person who would take advantage of the position for personal interests. One that makes a big difference, or one that cares about city dwellers. Citizens can arrive and give opinions to improve. Very good. Okay, people talking about prejudice. Okay. Lie and dirty is the worst one. Okay, so we have a lot of people saying mainly corruption and lies. This is something that most of the people are talking about. Okay, very good. And let's go to the last question. Do you know what the word vereador means? What does a vereador or city council do? So let's see if the people know. Yes and yes, vereador works for our legal power, poder legislativo of our city. Some people say, kinda, I'm not sure. Vereador is responsible for creating and suggesting laws that may be approved in the deputy. I have an idea, but I don't really know the duties. I guess as someone who inspects the mayor work, a vereador has to make laws. So some people know, but most of them, oh my God, I don't know what vereador means. I feel bad now. Don't feel bad, because you are going with this course, okay, you are going to learn the importance to know what is the meaning of vereador, okay? Don't worry. All right, so some people know, most of people don't know or don't remember, but there is no problem. My God, I don't know. No problem, guys. Very good, guys. Very good. So we can go to our next slide. Let me just, yes.
So people, again, we're going to say that politics is not an exclusive mechanism for politicians, much less involves only speeches, elections, false promises, and corruption, bribery, embezzlement. But it's not distant from us. On the contrary, it's present in our lives, in our everyday lives. So with that, we want, and based on some of the answers you have given, we want to invite you to continue with us. There's going to be a second part of this course, and then you're going to get a Google Doc link with some readings, videos, quizzes, and questions and vocabulary. And then you have until October the 2nd to finish the whole thing. So this is soon going to be available. If you have registered yourselves on this event through Simpla, you're gonna get the link. But there is just one more important thing I want to point out.
Noemi, just before we go, I would just like to tell people that many times part of the job of us as citizens is to oversee what the government does. So I always recommend people to look at transparency websites. We have the government, the national government transparency website. We have websites on transparency for each of our states. So São Paulo has one, Minas also does, Ceará does too, okay? It's important. And also websites such as Politize, politize.com.br, that will be in your follow-up email, and movimentoacredito.org, okay? Both of them are also about politics and getting to know a lot more. While some people were here asking, oh, isn't there something in Portuguese? These websites, Politize and Movimento Acredito, they're both in Portuguese. I'm sorry to make that interruption. Go ahead.
No, thanks for reminding me. And I'm going to ask Mirella, would you share the links in our chat box so everyone can see the links we have for the elections? We have that somewhere.
Let me get that. I think it's right. I think I have it, you know.
I mean, about those sites where you can learn more in Portuguese about them, about mayor, vice mayor, and also councilors.
Okay, I put it up on the site, on our chat, and now everyone has access to it. Okay.
Okay, guys. Before we finish everything, I'm going to say something and get back to our co-hosts here. I have to give you some information. Então, antes de terminar, eu vou passar algumas dicas, informações, depois a gente volta com as nossas co-hosts ainda mais um pouquinho. Então, getting the most of your vote, part 2 will soon be available. É importante que vocês façam um check-in aqui, no Simpla, que vocês marcam a presença, que vocês fizeram esse primeiro encontro, e depois o segundo, que é assíncrono. Assíncrono, vocês vão fazer no tempo de vocês, na hora que vocês puderem, e até o dia 2 de outubro, que é sexta-feira que vem, tá? Então, as pessoas que participarem, responderem também a segunda parte, são elegíveis para receber um certificado do American Space, que é preparado lá no Consulado de São Paulo, que nos apoia, e também dá um prêmio, né, para as pessoas que participam assim conosco. Então, gente, eu queria dizer que os nossos American Spaces do Brasil inteiro, amanhã, tem um dia marcado de muita animação. É o nosso Maker Day Brasil. São mais de 30 centros binacionais que vão oferecer mais de 100 oficinas Maker online, gratuitas, com atividades para crianças, jovens, adultos, atividades para se você quiser se profissionalizar ou aprender alguma nova skill, nova habilidade, até para ganhar um dinheirinho. Então, são coisas muito interessantes. Entrem no nosso site Maker Day Brasil, vocês veem ali, a gente tem os símbolos da embaixada, do American Space e dos Binational Centers, porque nós somos certificados e os nossos parceiros são parceiros que a gente não pode comprar. Eles nos escolhem. Então, nós somos escolhidos pela embaixada para poder fazer esse trabalho com vocês e essa agenda que a gente está fazendo. É uma alegria imensa poder falar com 81 jovens do Brasil todo sobre coisas tão importantes que nos cercam, né, e que vão bater a nossa porta. Aqui, no dia 27, começam já as propagandas políticas e vocês têm que estar preparados. Se a gente quer mudar, a gente tem que saber como, né? Então, que esse bate-papo seja um convite para você, né, se desarmar de polarização e se revestir de politização consciente, cidadã, que procura o melhor para a nossa comunidade. É isso que a gente procura. E a gente procura oferecer debates em inglês, porque é uma oportunidade da gente praticar e também desenvolver a língua e conhecer novas pessoas aqui. Eu estou deixando também o nosso e-mail, education.usa@ccbel.org, If you have any questions, you can talk to us here. And I also would like to thank Cristina Borges from Ceará. Thank you so much. And before we go, Cristina, can you say something? You can talk in Portuguese about being an Education USA advisor. Can you go ahead, please?
Sure. Eu queria agradecer a todos pela presença. No início, algumas pessoas estão só perguntando. Número 1, vai ter algum mini curso para iniciantes? E depois, como marca presença no Simpla? Algumas pessoas estão com essa dúvida, tá? Pessoal, eu queria terminar aqui agradecendo demais a gentileza da Noemi de ter me convidado, também a Daniela e a Mirella, que foram companheiras maravilhosas nesse nosso mini curso de hoje, que é para ser mesmo um convite à reflexão. E queria falar para vocês sobre o que é o Education USA. O Education USA é um escritório de orientação para quem deseja estudar nos Estados Unidos. Nós temos escritórios espalhados em todo o Brasil. No Brasil, ao todo, são 40 escritórios, tanto dentro de institutos como o CCB Sorocaba e o IBEL, que são os centros binacionais ou American Spaces, como também dentro de instituições de ensino superior particulares. Então, e também públicas. Nós temos alguns Education USA dentro de institutos federais, né? Então, quem deseja estudar nos Estados Unidos deve procurar o Education USA. Nós estamos com vários eventos virtuais acontecendo durante a semana. Basta acessar o site educationusa.org.br e procurar um evento. Com certeza a gente se vê por aí, tá? Muito obrigada, Noemi, Dani, Mirella, pela companhia. Obrigada a todos pela paciência e pelas opiniões que foram colocadas aqui, tá? Muito obrigada.
Obrigada, Cris. Eu queria só responder para o pessoal que está perguntando. Nós vamos ter curso de inglês para iniciantes do zero, tudo online. A Mirella e a Dani são nossas professoras lá também. Nós vamos começar a partir de outubro, fiquem ligados, porque nós vamos fazer várias transmissões e convites para vocês a partir da Newton Paiva e do Departamento de Relações Internacionais. O Instituto de Línguas, Newton Paiva, CCB, ele é vinculado ao Departamento de Relações Internacionais, ao Leonardo e a Camila. Logo eles vão estar prontos para dar mais informações para vocês também. Então, enquanto isso, nessas semanas aí a gente já vai começar a oferecer informações e bate-papos para vocês saberem mais sobre como nos encontrar aí online dentro da universidade de vocês. Eu quero dizer mais uma vez que se vocês entrarem no ingresso onde você se inscreveu, você pode colocar check-in. Então, quer dizer que você entrou aqui, participou, tá? A gente também salva aqui o chat e todos os participantes, porque assim a gente tem a ideia de quem veio participar. Nós estamos também colocando uma gravação, nós vamos enviar para todo mundo o link. Se alguém não conseguiu participar hoje aqui, ainda vai ter oportunidade. Nós temos quase 300 inscritos e 90 participantes. Então, esses que não puderam assistir, eles podem assistir a gravação, mas eles vão ter que responder 3 perguntas, assim como vocês aí no chat. What did you learn today? What is something new you learned today? Can you write in the chat before you leave? So you have your name and answer the questions. What did you learn today in this event? Então, o que você aprendeu hoje? Pode ser a resposta, pode ser nada, mas vamos lá, espero que a gente tenha conseguido deixar vocês um pouco mais atentos ao que a gente tem aí pela frente e que política realmente faz parte da nossa vida e que política é um assunto para a gente olhar de frente, olhar e participar. Então, é isso que a gente queria dizer para vocês. E eu deixo aí a oportunidade para a Dani e depois para a Mirella, para a gente poder se despedir. E se alguém tiver mais alguma pergunta, por favor, levante a mão no chat ou escreva aqui para a gente que a gente vai atendê-los, tá? Um abraço, um beijo no coração de todo mundo. Obrigada aí, gente.
Bye.
Tchau, gente. Obrigada por participarem. Até mais.
Noemi, quando você me...
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you around.
Bye. Can I